Oh my God. We're here.
What?
We're here. Yay. Oh, you know what? All it took was rebooting the computer.
The little things.
Technology. Jeez. Telling you. Technology. So, you know what? We're so late with this, you know what? Glittering Pony wanted me to announce this to the world. I'm sorry, Amy, but like huge announcement for Equestria LA. Can I do this real quick? Real quick?
Go.
Awesome. Huge announcement for Equestria LA. Guess who they got signed today? Only a few minutes ago.
Do tell. I want to know.
I'm going to tell right now. You want to hear? You want to hear? You want to know?
I want to know.
My favorite party guest, Tabitha St. Germain, will be joining us in LA.
I love Tabitha.
Yes! Everybody loves Tabitha. She is my favorite party guest. And she will be with us at Equestria LA. Only in a few weeks' time. Not much. But you know what? That is the huge announcement for Equestria LA. And I am so proud to bring it to you only 15 minutes late because my show derped. Sorry. Okay, I tested it. I swear I tested it. Swear to Celestia. I tested it an hour ago and it worked. But
now, Dusty, am I able to watch you, or will that totally mess with my head?
It's actually delayed by about 2 or 3 seconds. So, but if you want to watch, go ahead. You know, you just have to go to the Everfree.net site and pick up the viewer, and you could watch us. Absolutely. Go back over here where my storyboard is, so I get all the stuff up. And there we go.
Me.
And now we can go on with the program. My guest tonight, as you have heard her in the background, is one Amy Keating Rogers.
Hello, everybody.
One of the original writers on the show that we all love, My Little Pony, Friendship is Magic. Yes, was there at the dawn of time of this wonderful little shindig that we call Pony. How are you doing tonight, Amy?
I'm doing well. Thank you very much.
Awesome,
I'm very happy
awesome.
to be here. I'm glad the technical difficulties got ironed out, and we're good to go.
Thank you, everybody, for sticking around and putting up with that little schnibbit of time. Yes, and Rich is telling me, yes, check my audio settings. Yes, I know, Rich. Everything should be cool. Everybody out there, better? You can hear me now? I think so. Okay, we will get on with it. Let's see. Intro, welcome, okay. All right, we're going to go to questions. Because I got a bunch of questions right here for Amy that Carradine has helped me because he's a writer too, you see. So he's helped me with some of these wonderful questions for Amy. So, we're going to go right back at it. Back in the dawn of time. Your early career, as it is. Seems to have been closely linked to one McCracken. Tarkovsky. The years at Cartoon Network. How did you hook up with those two? You know, it seems like they were the Cal Arts crowd. How did you get in with that nutball group?
That's a good question. Well, do you want to go back further into my dawn of time?
Is there further? Is there a further?
Well, you know, yeah. I mean, there's a further in that. I mean, kind of where let me start a little earlier, which is that I started as an actor.
Ooh.
And I acted in high school and college. And in college, I went to Occidental College and was studying theater there, and was in my senior year and needed another course in order to graduate. And so I signed up for playwriting, and I really didn't want to take it because I didn't think I would be good at it. And planned to drop the course, but my professor wouldn't let me. He had known me for 4 years, and he thought I would be good at it. So I took the course, and it turned out I was good at it. So I wrote my first play. It was a very short play, and I ended up in the New Play Festival at Oxy, and I ended up being in it because I was the only gal in the theater department that was willing to perform in her underwear, which I don't quite get, because if you're going to perform in your underwear, do it when you're in college. So I did that, and then I graduated from college and went and got my MFA at Cal Arts. Speaking of Cal Arts, I got my MFA in acting at Cal Arts, but I continued to write plays, and 4 of my plays were produced at Cal Arts.
Very cool.
Yeah, very cool. And while I was at Cal Arts, I met this awesome woman named Patricia Gatz, and she ended up dating this awesome dude named Mark Andrews, and Patricia ended up getting a job at Hanna-Barbera Cartoons because her husband, Mark Andrews, was working at Hanna-Barbera Cartoons. And you might know Mark Andrews' name because he recently won an Academy Award for the motion picture Brave.
That is right. He did.
Yes. So Patricia was I'm trying to think what her title was, but she had a big title at Hanna-Barbera. I think she was a producer, something, she was big. And she was working on Johnny Bravo. I was working on acting at that point. And as an actor, you do various odd jobs. And one of my odd jobs was working at 1-800-DENTIST, where I referred people to dentists. If anybody doesn't know what 1-800-DENTIST is, it's this call center, basically, that is in America, where people can call and find a dentist in their area. And so, I referred people to dentists and lots of actors and musicians had these jobs because it was flexible. And you could go on your auditions and things like that. But I wanted a different job, and there was a production assistant job on Johnny Bravo. And my friend Pat said, "Hey, you want to come and do that?" And I said, "I would love to." So I went and did that, and that segued into me becoming a production assistant on the Powerpuff Girls. Now, meanwhile, I was acting. I was in a theater company acting, and one of my plays ended up being produced by one of my friends. And so my play was being produced in Hollywood while I was a production assistant on the Powerpuff Girls. And they needed some help with the writing on Powerpuff Girls. They knew I was a writer because I plastered my posters all over the studio saying, "Come to my play." And so the day that Craig McCracken was going to approach me about writing was the day I approached him, asking him if he'd give me a chance. And so he gave me a chance, and kind of the rest is history.
Yeah, that's really, you just covered 3 of my questions.
There you go.
Yeah. The Powerpuff Girls, we all know that the history of the Powerpuff Girls, they were called the Whoop-Ass Girls back in college.
Yes.
How did that, how did it come from a little college project called the Whoop-Ass Girls to be picked up by, Cartoon Network and getting actually made? Is there anything weird about that story that you can tell us?
I'm trying to remember. It got picked up before I was on the Powerpuff Girls. Okay. I came on to Powerpuff kind of midway in season 1. That's when I was brought on as a production assistant. And so, and I might be getting this historically wrong, so if I do, folks, please forgive me. But Gendy and Craig, they both made these awesome student films at CalArts. And gosh, is that how it worked? And they were approached by What a Cartoon. I'm kind of forgetting the exact order of things, but they had both done these things at CalArts. Yeah. And studios would go to CalArts and check out what the students were doing because the students there are so incredibly talented. And Gendy and Craig's shows were 2 that ended up being ones that were turned into series. And obviously you can't call a show Whoop-Ass Girls.
Yeah, you can't. You can't market that,
Another brilliant CalArtian, Paul Rudish, who came up with the title Powerpuff Girls. And he actually is somebody who worked with Lauren on the early development stuff of My Little Pony. Oh, cool. And yeah, he's a name that if you look around, you have seen Paul Rich's stuff.
Which brings us around to, it seems like that whole nucleus of the Powerpuff Girls creators, everybody, you and Gendy and Lauren and him, was the nucleus of the crew of so many other wonderful shows. What do you think is the responsible for the chemistry of that group? What was the thing that brought that group together cohesively? What is it about you guys?
I think those people, it's, I think, gosh, because you have the CalArts people, because Lauren's CalArts, Paul's CalArts, Gendy's CalArts, Robert Renzetti's CalArts, Craig's CalArts. But then you have people like Chris Savino, who's not CalArts, but incredibly talented. You have, I just kind of stumbled into the group, and I just, I feel incredibly lucky to be there, because I was never, all those people draw, and you'd sit in a story meeting with them and they would just doodle things that were amazing, and it was just, I'm not sure how some of the other people ended up in there, but they all found each other, and it was phenomenal. And I was happy to have kind of gotten to. I'm so happy I fell into that group, because I was incredibly lucky.
Speaking of one of those wonderful shows, one of my favorites, Samurai Jack.
That's
one of the most interesting, thoughtful animated shows ever. I mean, just the stuff that came out. It was, however, very light on dialogue.
Yes.
How do you, as a writer, approach a low dialogue show like that? Is it all like scene setup? Do you approach it more like a director of a film?
Well, that show, you have to understand, Powerpuff Girls, Dexter's Lab, Samurai Jack are all outline-driven shows.
Okay.
What that means is that we would have a story meeting, and we would figure out the entire story, and I would go and write a very detailed outline telling the story. And then that outline is sent to the network and approved, or given notes and all that stuff, but then it's given to the storyboard artist, and the storyboard artist draws it and does the dialogue.
Oh, okay.
Which is why with Samurai Jack, it's so wonderfully visual, because you have an artist doing all of the visuals, and the limited dialogue is, they put in dialogue where it was needed, but they did as visual storytelling as was needed, as they got to just explode with visual storytelling.
Yeah, that's what I love, that show. It's visuals.
That's what Gendy wanted to do. He wanted to be able to. He's an incredible visual storyteller.
Is that sort of why you were called an outline editor for that show?
Exactly.
Oh, okay, cool. That's another question. I got one for you, because you're a writer. Because it sounds like you didn't do too much dialogue writing, but were you ever like in the studio, say when Mako was doing his lines?
I wasn't. And yeah, I know, that's sad. And I'm trying to. Yeah, I was never in the recording sessions for that show.
Did you ever meet the man?
No. And it makes me really sad.
It makes me sad too, because he's passed and has left us. And
yes.
I'm so angry at Arnold Schwarzenegger right now. So angry. That we can't make Conan the King now because we have no Mako.
Right.
We have no wizard. So it can't be made. So I'm so angry at you, Arnold. I am. Compare and contrast. Pinkie Pie and Dee Dee from Dexter's Lab. Some of us think they're related. True or not true?
I can definitely see their similarities, and when I wrote A Friend Indeed, that's something that Rob and Lauren and I talked about, that we definitely had some Dee Dee, nods in there with her going, ooh, what, we couldn't say, what does this button do, because she wasn't touching any buttons.
Right.
But, there are definitely, she has Dee Dee-isms to her. But, I think they're very, very different characters.
Yeah, I sort of loved Pinkie Pie when she was in the basement getting all analyzed by Twilight. She pulled some Dee Dee stuff
right.
there for a second. How did Foster's Home compare with Powerpuff Girls and Samurai Jack from a creator's perspective? Did you guys do anything differently on Foster's Home than you would have done on the other outline-driven shows?
Well, yeah, because Foster's wasn't an outline-driven show. Foster's was a scripted show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it was completely different. With Samurai Jack, again, it was writing outlines, and as much as we, came up with the story in a room and all of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
With Foster's, it was putting up cards and beating out everything, and doing all that, because then we were going to go do an outline and then move to a script. Okay. So it was a completely different process.
Oh, nice. How has writing for our favorite show, MLP, changed over, from 2000, probably 8 when you guys started writing the show, to today, writing season 4? How's it really changed? Has it changed at all?
It's, for me, it actually started in 2009, and it's changed in that, I mean, for me, it's changed just knowing the characters that much more. Mm-hmm. Being able to jump into a script and know what these characters, how they would react and all of that is much more natural, which makes sense when you're at the beginning of a show. You're kind of clunky and, mm-hmm. and trying to figure out everybody's voice. So now it's now it's hanging out with old friends, right. Which is fantastic.
Yeah. Speaking of voice of a character, mm-hmm. Dog and Pony Show.
Yes.
Where Tabitha really cut loose with mm-hmm. The most extreme rarity performance to date at that point. Did you have Tabitha's capabilities in mind when you wrote that script, or was she just, pulling a Robin Williams and going off the cuff?
Oh, I had never met Tabitha.
Okay.
I actually hadn't met Tabitha until Las Pegasus. So it was me working and just going for it, and then as far as, okay, this is what I'm gonna have this character do, and then her taking what I'd written and her totally going for it.
Oh yes. Just wonderful, getting the dogs to do this water is hardly sparkling. Yes.
She took everything that was in my head and turned it up to 11. So that
just love awesome. It. Now we're going to go to a little dark, touchy subject. Bridal gossip discusses mm-hmm. a very touchy subject of, almost close to a racism almost, because the ponies are looking at Zecora and going and just, yes. How does it, what are your thoughts on the premise of Ponies and Ponyville that indeed have that character flaw of, racism? It was very well handled in a writer's standpoint, but how did that the whole story come about? Was it very difficult to write that?
No, it wasn't. It wasn't difficult to write. I think fear of somebody different is something that all of us face in life, mm-hmm. and so that's what these. All these ponies were freaked out by this, this creature that was different, and just going by that. And I think that's a very it's an honest story, mm-hmm. and telling it, and not just telling it that way. And that was one of Lauren's kind of early story ideas, and having Zecora in there and having her be this wise character was very important to her. Mm-hmm. And actually, originally, Zecora was supposed to be in the pilot. So I guess, it would have been very different because we wouldn't have had that story had right. Zecora been in the pilot, because they'd
have known her by then.
Yeah, they would have already known her. And so when Lauren had to cut Zecora for time, mm-hmm. And at that point she was called Shaman, they, it kind of opened up the possibility of that story. But no, I didn't think of it as, I guess I didn't think of it that way. I think Dave's story with the buffalo, I bet that was a lot more challenging.
I've lost the video. And we're back.
Oh.
Love live stream. Love it.
Mm-hmm.
We're just having an evening.
Mm-hmm.
Cowboy Dave is gonna run out of derpy pictures to use to cut this one together. Sorry. We're trying. If live stream would stop it, we'd be fine. Let's go to a couple of more questions, and then we'll get into charities and questions from the live studio audience. Everybody who's stuck around. Okay. Just a couple more. Let's see. You were the story editor for an entire season of Care Bears. How was it different being in that position? And what was the most difficult part of stepping up to that role?
The difference is, you're in charge of all the stories and the scripts and making sure everybody's, on schedule and doing their thing, and you fix people's outlines and scripts and make in that situation, I didn't get to write a lot of scripts. I wrote one, I believe, maybe two. And then the rest, I was just editing everybody else's work.
Right.
And it was a very good experience. I had a really good time, kind of shepherding everything for everybody. Cool. Yeah.
Let's see. Mystery on the Friendship Express. That must have been a blast to write. 'Cause you got to do all the different movie styles being parodied. Did you write all those little gags, or did most of the storyboard people come up with those?
I definitely did part of it, and then they definitely added to it. Absolutely. But I said the James Bond stuff, and I said all of those different styles, and so that they had that to go off of. And then, as usual, they made it even more awesome. But it was absolutely a whole lot of fun. And doing the story meeting with Lauren and Rob, we went through, okay, what are the different kinds we can do that they're different enough and, unique, and, that it'll be distinct in the different storytelling. And visual and all of that stuff. So that was a lot of fun.
Cool. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. When it went to the different movie styles, I went, no way! That was so much fun. James Bond, I don't think kids were going to get, but it was like, really? James Bond? Awesome.
Well, yeah, and for us, the thing is, we hope that the kids get some of that stuff, but we're in there in the story meeting, and we're all of a certain age, and we go, well, we think it's funny.
We think it's funny. Absolutely. Going back to last roundup, it was overshadowed by some unfortunate events we won't go into. From what you have seen of the fan reaction to that show, that particular episode, what do you think is the most important thing that people sort of overlooked about it, that episode? It had that one thing. What about that episode maybe people overlooked?
I think maybe the thing I really liked about it was how the girls, I call them the girls, how the girls worked together, the different, just the wordplay, the dialogue, that was some of my favorite Pinkie Pie stuff. Getting right. I know people enjoyed the I Love Lucy reference in there.
Oh, yeah.
I think it was an interesting show in that it seemed like it was kind of going to be about one thing, and it took some turns in there that took us out of Ponyville, and that was nice. It definitely got overshadowed by something else, and I really enjoyed that episode and thought it was, a super solid episode.
I thought it was too, actually.
Yeah, the chimichurri scene is one of my favorites.
Yeah, but Rainbow Dash says, I'll let her go if you don't tell us. I'll release her.
Right. And at the story meeting, I remember, us saying, rarity catch me, and crap, things like that.
Best night ever. Had this wonderful celebratory feel to it, closing a season, one with a more like, look what we did. It's like as a sense of pride as a group. As you were writing the script for that, did you have any idea what My Little Pony was going to accomplish at that point?
No, absolutely no idea. At that point, we had no idea, or at least I didn't, no idea of the fan base that it was developing. So no, because I'm trying to think of when that was being written compared to when the show premiered. So no, we were writing it as, the end of this trilogy that we had kind of come up with, that we hadn't intended at the beginning, but we put together as we went along in the season. And it was the first time I got to write a big song, and that was really awesome.
It was, actually.
So yeah, that oh my gosh, that song was a lot of work for me. More work than I needed to put into it. It's totally of my own doing, because I am a dork, and I know how. I don't know how to use GarageBand very well, but I know how to use Final Cut.
Okay.
And so I wanted to make sure that I didn't know who Daniel Ingram was at that point, but I wanted the composer, the mystery composer, to know what I wanted out of this song. And as everybody knows, I based it off of, or maybe not everybody, but as many people know, I based it off of Sondheim's, what's that song? Ever After. So I took that song and just meticulously went through each thing, because, and I went through and actually sang the whole thing on Final Cut, and I layered the voices and sang it all and cut it. And I mean, I spent a day or more just doing this thing, and sent it off and said, here you go. And, I remember just, and I wasn't that great at recording things, and it was ridiculous what I did, and he never heard it. It was crazy. So I worked really, really hard, just on that song. And because I remember that song specifically coming into my mind in the story meeting, because I knew it was going to work. And I was so excited about it, and I knew how epic it was going to be. So that was really exciting.
Awesome. Before we go to commercial, tell us a secret about M.A. Larson.
Oh, a secret about M.A. Larson?
Tell us a secret. Tell us a secret about M.A. Larson.
Wow. The truth is, M.A. Larson is actually naturally a blonde. And he dyes his hair black so that he seems more mysterious.
Really?
Yes.
I'll have to write that down for next time I interview him. I want to write that down.
Yes.
Dyes
little fact about M.A. Larson.
I got hip pocket with that one. Okay, we're going to go to commercial, and when we come back, we're going to update everybody on charity and what that's going on. We'll get to Amy's charity, and then we will be able to have you out there. We'll get Screwball on the call, and then you out there can ask Amy your questions as soon as we come back from commercial, so stick around.
Are you tired of the high-pressure sales tactics from rank amateur merchants? Are you tired of shady characters trying to take you and your bits for a ride? Would you really rather be shopping in a glorified flea market? Don't want to pay Canterlot prices? Avoid the bucksters and the snake oil salesman. Come to Ponyville's oldest family-run business, Rich's Barnyard Bargains. You'll find us at the corner of Appleton Way and Stirrup Street. Look for the billboards. You can't miss them. There, you will find a warm, brightly lit, and friendly atmosphere. We have everything from alfalfa to Zap Apple Jam.
Look at all that stuff!
Oh yes, we carry home improvement supplies and tools for all those last-minute weekend projects. And remember, Rich's Barnyard Bargains. If it ain't filthy, and it ain't stinking, then it ain't rich.
That's right, everybody. For everything you need down there in Ponyville, Rich's Barnyard Bargains. If it ain't filthy and it ain't stinking, then it ain't rich. And we're back with Amy Keating Rogers. And we're going to go over our charities as we are. I have one bit of old business, Subtlewind. Subtlewind, you won last week, and I have not heard from you. I need your shipping info, so get with me. Dusty at manliestbrony.com. Send me your shipping info. And everybody else, I'm still waiting on Andrew Francis to get me the stuff that he promised so I can get it to you. So as soon as that hits my mailbox, it'll be turned right back around to you guys. So sit tight, it's coming. I will be phone calling that gentleman tonight after show. And if you're ghosting, Andrew, be ready for it. Okay, so we are at Stephen Andrews. Stephen Andrews, Red Cross of Boston. And that we did $734 for the Red Cross of Boston. Woohoo! That puts us way a little bit over $6,000 total for all of our charity as we've been going along. So congratulations, guys, doing very well. And we're gonna have the raffle right now for this special Fluttershy box of Interplay cards with the special second season foil in it. And this signed script page from Cindy Morrow. This is a script page from Daring Do, so that is awesome. And whatever Stefan is going to get me in the mail. So you will be getting that stuff. So I have a Daring Do hat right here, full of names. I'm shaking them up. And I'm going to close my eyes. And I'm going to go in here. And I'm going to pick a name. Here's one right here. Let's see what this name says. This name says Storm Shield. Storm Shield, you win this week. So you are going to get that stuff, and I will contact you a little bit later to get all your shipping info. So that is awesome. Congratulations. Thank you, everybody, for all of your wonderful charitable donations. And we're going to need them again because Amy is here with her charity. And tell us a little bit about your charity, Amy.
My charity is a school called College View School. And it is the school that my son Soren goes to. It is a school for children with special needs. It services children from ages 3 to 22. It is a public school in the Glendale Public School District. And like any public school, we don't have a lot of money. And it's a very small school. It services about 80 children. And because of this, lots of schools have PTAs that raise money. The parents at College View are often very exhausted from caring for their children with special needs, and so they don't have a lot of time to do fundraisers and things like that. I am currently the PTA president. I'm also the, I think, vice president of the foundation of College View. So there's a handful of us, quite literally, that do our best to try and raise money for College View, to try and make sure that the kids get what they need as far as getting, whether it's special events to come to the school, like petting zoo kind of things, or snow day, or because we don't really get a lot of snow in California where we are. But we do a lot of things for the school, and we're actually, the school's actually going to be knocked down. What? It's actually a good thing. Oh, okay. And a whole new wonderful school is going to be built in these next 2 years.
Oh, good.
And when it is built, we're going to have this amazing space where we're going to have an interactive sensory room. But there's going to be the space for the interactive sensory room, but there won't be the equipment. So part of the funds that we've been trying to raise are for the pieces of equipment. So the PTA and the foundation are raising these funds to do a variety of things for our kids, and the money is well used for the children, and it's for a great cause.
Awesome. So guys can go to manliestbrony.com and follow the instructions at manliestbrony.com to do it correctly. Okay, so we're doing it on the school's website through PayPal. You will have to put your name in a box, and they will actually track it at the school and get back to us on who has actually given some money. So you have to go to manliestbrony.com and follow the links exactly how we need to do it so that you can get in on the raffle for these wonderful prizes. And I'm going to reach down here into the Hot Topic bag that you also get. You're going to get the Rainbow Dash Daring Do cover of the My Little Pony Friendship as Magic comic book from Hot Topic. You'll get that. You will also get the new Derpy necklace, also from Hot Topic. This looks really good. And you're also going to get this Derpy sticker, also from Hot Topic. You think I shop at Hot Topic, so I had $15 of hot cash I had to spend. And then you also get this Derpy Bubbles sew-on patch, also from Hot Topic. So you're going to get all of that awesome swag if you win the raffle in 2 weeks for this charity. But that's not all. Hey, Amy.
Yes?
Is there anything that you might want to kick in to that little raffle prize, maybe?
I don't know. Was I supposed to?
I don't know. I'm just asking you. Cindy Morrow gave some signed script pages for hers.
Ooh, I could do that.
Maybe you could do that.
Yeah. I can do a signed card, and I could do signed script pages. Absolutely.
Ooh, signed script pages. So, hey, how about a couple of signed script pages to go into that bundle right there, right from Amy, right to you. So, I think we're going to go ahead and do that. We're going to throw that in on top, and that'll be the cherry on top of everything. So, in 2 weeks, we'll take the drawing for that one. And so, get over there to manliestbrony.com after the show, or when the show hangs, when you got about 10 minutes when I reboot the computer, to go over there and give $5 or more to the school for Amy's son, Soren. And he's an awesome guy, I'm telling you. You guys see the picture of Soren in his flight suit? That was so cute. Oh my gosh. Loved it. Loved it. And now, Screwy! Where are you, my boy?
Yo.
Yo ho, Screwy's
What's
here. What is up, my boy? How's your week gone?
Hunting.
Nice.
I'm behind with my very awesome friend Logan, and even though we haven't got anything yet, it's been a blast. We got to see all sorts of amazing wildlife. We got to see like around 40 deer. We saw what looked like 150-pound beaver, I swear.
Whoa.
And
that'd be a heck of a hat.
Oh yeah.
You need to give me a beaver so I can have a hat.
That could be a coat, for goodness sake. Yeah, and then it snowed, and it's been a very, very odd week. Yeah,
that's Alberta for you. Hey, anybody in the chatty box want a question?
Oh boy, there's so many. There's so many. I'll get right onto it.
Do it.
So this one is from Flare Cobra for you, Amy. What's your favorite character to write about?
I really like writing Pinkie Pie because she's so silly, and her brain works in such a goofy way that my brain often works in, and so I get to tap into that. Second, writing Applejack, I get to tap into kind of my kind of countryisms that I say for whatever reason. I think I got a lot of them from I Love Lucy, but I get to throw those in.
That's cute. Cool. So this one is from Olden Pony. For you, Amy, what is your favorite brony convention you've been to?
That's a good question. They're all so different and unique in their own wonderful way. I had a really good time at Midwestria. It was so small, and Larson and I got to sing karaoke, and it was just, it was a really good time. It was really kind of fun and mellow.
Cool.
Yeah.
So this one is from Secret Tale. Amy, what do you do to cure writer's block?
Often I drive my car. Yeah, so if I'm stuck on something, it's doing the mundane tends to unstick me, and doing those things that you don't have, not that I don't think when I'm driving, but it's those things that you do, you do them very naturally, or you do them so often. That's when I figure out things the most.
Nice. So this one is from KJR. question for you, Amy, is what advice could you give someone who wants to get into writing or performing in animation?
Always, take classes and write. As far as performing, take a voiceover class and get a demo thing. There's so much stuff online now that you can submit your writing or submit your voiceover work to, and see if you can get jobs there and kind of build up your skills and your resume, and see, get your stuff out there. But for me, taking writing classes is good, and always hearing my stuff out loud is good, just to see what works and what doesn't, and build that confidence to a place where I feel good about submitting my stuff out to strangers.
Cool. Next.
Awesome. Actually, Dusty, this one is from Glittering Pony. She just likes to say thank you for the announcement.
No worries, Glit. You know I love you guys.
Now where? Oh, actually, this one's from Snitch Pony 567. Dusty was wondering if you could show off the rainbow dash on your arm.
This one on my arm? Okay. Well, let's see. I gotta get the shirt off. Oh, ow. Oh, ow, 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 ow. And yes, it hurts. Yes, people. Yes, tattoos hurt. Okay. So, here we go. Ugh.
Yeah, I almost makes me want to.
There we go. There you go. 360 shot. There she is. And I have to go back in a month for a color tune-up, so it's not quite done yet. But it took.
Actually, from Dragoon 77777. Question for you, Dusty,
yes.
Since you brought up the tattoos. Why'd you get a Rainbow Dash tattoo instead of Cheerilee?
Because Rainbow Dash is most like me. I'm most like Rainbow Dash. So, Rainbow Dash was the first pony that I really loved in the show, and she's a lot like me, a little bit. It's one of those things where I'm not done. I've got Rainbow Dash now. I've got something else in mind. So it's just one of those things. Tattoos to me, are a personal thing. They're not just slapping cartoon art on my body. They got to mean something to me. So I want to remember this last couple of years of my life and everything that I've done for you guys and everything I've done for charity and everything that's happened to me. So Rainbow Dash feels a little bit more like personal to me than Cheerilee at the moment. So that's why I went with that. Plus, it looks awesome.
So this one is from Buttons Pony. He says to you, Amy, I love your work on MLP, and I'm so glad for your contributions because they've helped me and others in this world see through new eyes.
That's very nice.
Yay, Buttons.
Also, Buttons likes to ask, Amy, can we have a Daring Do episode?
That's
Please.
not up to me.
Why not?
Just write it and then slap it at Hasbro. Like, here you go, do it.
Yeah.
We all want one. Ooh, so this one is from Douglas. I never actually thought about this before, but for Amy, do you think the Cutie Mark Crusaders are based off the Powerpuff Girls personality-wise?
No, I don't think so necessarily. That'd be. No, I don't think so.
Yep.
I could hear you going on that awesome solo right there, Dusty.
Yeah, I gotta play with Amy here. I gotta turn this up. There you go. This was my birthday present from Kerwin. I love it. I start lessons on Thursday. So.
Awesome.
Yep. Thanks.
My brother's texting me. Sorry. After show, my brother wants to watch Django with me, so he's just really pumped. But here we go. So this one's from Violent Bray. Amy, why don't you have a ukulele show on Everfree Network?
Oh my gosh.
Because we haven't developed it yet.
Yeah. I have a ukulele show idea, but it's actually an inappropriate ukulele show idea.
Inappropriate? How can ukuleles be inappropriate?
So, yeah, I'm trying to figure that stuff out, whether... yeah. I mean... So in answer to why I don't have something on there, I don't know. It would just be me playing, all my favorite oldie songs, me playing lots of old standards. So you'd see me just being a silly person, which maybe would be enjoyable. I don't know.
Sure would.
That
Absolutely.
would be enjoyable. There's
Works for
nothing
sketchy
wrong
sounds.
with the oldies.
Works for sketchy every Thursday.
There you go. And I want you to know that Larson just confirmed that it's true that he is as blonde as Megan McCarthy.
There you go. There you go. I'm just wondering if the hair on his toes match.
No.
What?
I'm not asking those questions.
Oh my. So this one is from Kalo, question for Amy. Is there anything that you'd like to go back and change in any of your MLP FIM scripts? That's a tough one.
That's a tough one.
Not that I can think of off the top of my head. Yeah, I mean, there's stuff that, of course, was cut that I wish hadn't been cut. That's the biggest thing. There's stuff that I wish hadn't been cut because that would have clarified issues.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, I think things turned out well.
Awesome.
Yep.
So this one is from Mason L. Cat. Question to Amy. If you had an opportunity to work on any other show other than My Little Pony, what show would it be and why?
Back when it was on, I was a huge fan of Avatar: The Last Airbender. And I actually wrote to them and said, I love your show so much and I would love to write on it. And, I was very fan, crazy fan.
Mm-hmm.
And they wrote back to me and were super cool. And, they kind of had their set writers, and I totally get that.
Mm-hmm.
But they were very nice and appreciated my love of their show. But I just loved that show.
Oh, I liked it. I love that show, too.
That's one of those, whenever it's on, I'll keep it, I can watch any episode, I'll jump into any episode and watch it.
Cool.
Awesome. So this one is from Flare Runner to Amy. What is your favorite episode of MLP that you didn't write?
I really like Hurricane Fluttershy.
Oh, it's an adorable one. I love that one. I'm a huge Fluttershy fan, so I like that one.
Cool.
Definitely.
Yes.
That was very fun.
So this one is from Flutterlove. For Amy, what is your process for writing a story?
I mean, the whole writing process in general is, for MLP is, you get your story idea and then you have a story meeting and you break down the story. You have the teaser and Act 1, 2, and 3, and you make sure you have the cliffhanger at the end of Act 1 and 2, and you figure out all the beats and you get jokes in there and you make sure you have a cohesive story that you can make a 22-minute episode out of. You go home once you have all that figured out, once you're done with that story meeting, and you write an outline with the acts broken down like that. That's sent into it's sent first to the story editor, and you get notes, and then once it's approved by the network and the studio, you move on to the script. And the great thing about the outline is because you've beat it out like that, you know exactly where your story is going. And so now you're just adding dialogue and action. But, so then it's just going through and, bringing it, adding all the characters to it and adding them talking, that kind of thing. So then it's me sitting down, and it is a daunting thing at first of, oh crud, I have to get, 33 pages, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it, and I'm all freaked out. So I start with, okay, I need to get the teaser done. And that, is generally, it's 3 pages. So I go, okay, if I can get the teaser done today, I'll do that. And so I'll just try and tackle that. Well, once you get those 3 pages done, you go, well, I'll continue on through the rest of Act 1. And just kind of, it becomes a snowball where the more I write, the more I go, okay, I've accomplished this. I can keep going. I can keep climbing this hill. So it just goes along like that.
Cool.
Awesome. So this one is from Sard Shift to Amy. Was it incredibly boring as a dentist referral agent, or did you actually have a good time?
I had a good time. You're hanging out with a bunch of other people, the other operators, so that's fun. The thing about being an operator, people calling in for a dentist, is that often they're in pain because they have, they're calling for a dentist because they need dental work. So they're not often in a good mood. And so they're a little cranky at you. So that's one issue. The other issue is that we would get crank calls, or people would use our phone line for other purposes other than a dentist. More nefarious, I guess, less appropriate uses.
Oh, geez.
What, trying to find a chiropractor?
Yeah, just like, exactly. Yeah. They were confused about body parts.
Confused.
Oh my.
Yeah.
So this one is from Flutterlicious. Question to Amy. Love all your work, and I have one question. Is the Brony community influencing in the I can't even speak today. Influence, you know what? Is it, you know that word, your work in a minor way, such as background ponies, minor lines, etc.?
I think we're trying to stay true to the show.
Please do.
Because otherwise you guys would, wouldn't be happy. You guys would be like, oh, pandering. So, we're trying, the show is intended for a particular audience, and we're trying, that's the audience that we are writing for.
Mm-hmm. That's the way it should be.
Yeah.
Don't mess with success.
Exactly.
Keep doing what you're doing, and we'll do what we do, and everybody's happy.
Right.
That's.
There will be one big weird fanfic.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. Next.
So this one's from Secret Tale to all. Since you're all going to EQLA, will any of you be cosplaying?
Yeah, I'm going to be cosplaying as DustyKatt.
Yeah. I am usually cosplaying as Screwball.
I'll just be Amy.
Yep.
Oh, look at us. We're just cosplaying ourselves.
Mm-hmm. Hey, I put 45 years into this cosplay, man. I put a lot of effort in this one.
Yeah, there you go. Mine took roughly 2-3 days just to make the hat. And the Canada cape I kind of just bought at a superstore. Sorry, I just need to try to get back to where I left off. Where did I put you? Where did I put you? Sorry, I just lost myself. So this one is from Thunder Tempest for you, Dusty. Do you have a song that you would most like to learn on the bass?
Yes, actually I do. It is The Captain by my brain just lost the band. Grand Funk Railroad. I'm your captain. I'm your captain, though I'm feeling mighty sick. That song, okay? Listen to the bass line in that song. It goes everywhere. I want to learn that song bad. That is an awesome, jazzy, funky, awesome song. I would love to learn that song, but it's going to take me years to get that good on the bass. But I'll do it. I'll do it.
Do it, Philly.
I'm going to do it.
So this one's from James P. Short 6. For everyone, chimichurri or chimichanga?
Chimichurri.
There you
as
go.
long as it has more cherry in it, that's my pick. Whichever one has more cherry in it.
I have to agree. I love my cherry.
Yep.
I love cherries. You're making me hungry.
Mm-hmm.
And all I had was popcorn today.
I might have to make that into a cooking video.
Oh, do it! Do it! Yes! I'd love to see that. I'd pay to see that. So this one is from Teddy Rumskin. To Amy. I'll reword this. Who's your favorite pony?
Like I said, but my favorite pony to ride for is Pinkie Pie.
And favorite pony, like, out of character-wise, would still be Pinkie Pie?
I don't answer that question. Because people get cranky.
It's
Cranky
true.
people.
They usually do.
Which they shouldn't, because everyone has their favorite pony. Even the writers, even the people who work on the show have their favorites. Don't get cranky about it.
Ooh, here we go. So this one's question for all from
James Justice! Yes. Our resident superhero, James Justice.
So question is, what is your dream project to work on, be it for ponies or otherwise? It doesn't have to, and this is for all, so is there something out there that you always wanted to do as a dream project?
Oh, man. You know, I would love to build a motorcycle with Arlen Ness. Dream project.
Ooh.
Gosh, that's an epic question.
It is. It is.
No, that's from James Justice.
Golly. I don't know.
Can you read now?
I gotta think of one myself. What is my dream project? Oh man. I don't know why, but I got hunting stuck in my head like no tomorrow. It's all I've been doing for the past while. It's like, it's all that's been stuck when I'm at work or anywhere. It's just like, I just want to go out wearing my ghillie suit and just go out hunting.
I want to go hunting.
My thing. Oh, yeah, and that's the thing is, I just ordered that ghillie suit. Yep. And it's like a brown/green. Mm-hmm. So it's like awesome for spring and summer, right? But then the very next day, it snows. Yeah, thanks a lot, weatherman.
I'm really stumped. I really don't know what my dream project is, but now I will think about it.
Think about it. We'll go on and you can come back to it if you want.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Ooh. Oh, where? I like this. From Pony Swag. Without revealing anything too big, Amy, explain season 4 in one word.
Well, Megan's already said it, so I know I'm allowed to.
Yeah.
Ambitious.
Ambitious. Ooh, ambitious. We already know that there is a song from a character that has not sung before. She has said that. My bet is on Luna.
I'm thinking I'll just...
That's my bet. I put my bets on Luna. Because Celestia now has a song. And it's awesome.
That's true. She did sing.
Yeah. So I think Luna's going to sing.
Maybe even Discord. I could totally see that.
True, because John actually sung in the documentary.
Yeah, he did a good job
in the documentary, yeah.
I could totally see him singing.
Next.
Awesome. Ooh, so also from Pony's Bag, I have to bring this one up as well, is for Amy, how are you finding Twitter so far? What is your favorite thing about communicating with the Brony Kingdom?
I'm enjoying Twitter. I guess I've been on Twitter now for almost a year because I started right before BronyCon.
Mm-hmm.
I think my favorite thing is, I'm able to answer people's questions and I'm able to harass Larson. And, it's just fun to communicate with folks in this kind of quick way. So, yeah, I'm enjoying it.
Awesome. So this one is from Luke S. This question to Amy: New Lunar Republic or Solar Empire?
I don't know. Do I have to choose?
Yes.
Yes.
Choose.
You must choose.
Why can't they coexist?
The yellow pill or the blue pill? Pick one.
I shall not choose between them.
So you're going for Cadence, the Russian build again. That's 3.
Yeah, that's me.
Another one for the Russian vote. Next.
I don't see these things. Go on.
Ooh. Oh yes, this one's from Olden Pony.
By the way, ask Olden Pony if she got her horseshoe back yet. Did she lose it again?
Oh no. I see what you're doing there. Probably. Where's my rusty horseshoe?
Where's my rusty horseshoe?
So the question is, for all, if you had to become a pony in Equestria, Earth Pony, Pegasi, or Unicorn?
Everybody knows I'm being Earth Pony.
I think I'd want to be a Pegasus because I want to fly.
See, the thing is, the Screwball is an Earth Pony, yet she has the ability to fly. So you know what? I don't know. I don't know what kind of species she is. I don't know. Maybe there's a horn under that big fluffy hair.
Maybe.
And yeah, you never know. So I guess unicorn then. I'll be a unicorn. There you go.
There you go. Next.
Ooh, where did I put you again? Oh, yeah. This one's our answer, but I'm just gonna put in detail, Dusty, from Pink Pearl Apple. How much did it hurt to get that tattoo? I've been thinking of getting one.
If you don't know the pain of needles, then it hurts a lot. But once you get the endorphin rush going, it's sort of like having a constant sunburn going on. But somebody's actually putting it into your skin.
Fun.
So over and over and over and over again. So it's sort of like once you center what I do is I center myself, and then he starts, and then the outline is the worst because the outline's a small thin line of, and then when they start putting the color in, it's sort of like they're just putting the color into the skin. It's a lot easier, but doing the outline, especially if there's a bone near the top of the skin where the ink's going in, that hurts. Yeah,
I do not want a tattoo. I do not. So it's not that it's not the whole pain sort of thing. It's what kind of throws me off is that, say if I got a tattoo and then my body changed, I end up getting heavy or I end up building muscle or something. That tattoo's gonna stretch or it's gonna shrink or something's gonna happen to it.
A little bit, not much.
Yeah.
Next.
So this is from Imperius. To Amy, some episodes feel kind of rushed to a degree. Of course, given that they're only 22-minute time slot, my question to you is, other than the season premiere or finale episodes, will there be any mid-season episodes that became two-parters in the future?
I don't know. Yeah, I have no idea on that because I don't know what the whole layout is. I know in general, two-parters are harder to do. So I think production-wise they're harder. I know they're harder to script. So I think they save them for, premieres and finales because they can kind of tackle them. So my guess is they would only put them in those places, but I don't know that for a fact, but that would be my best guess.
Hey, Imperious. Look, a moose. Next.
Oh, actually, Imperious wants to ask, remember, he shaved his head for you because of your birthday, Dusty. He was wondering if maybe you saw that picture.
I did see that picture. He looks good, bald. He does. He looks good.
Some people do a really good job when they're actually bald. Me, I could not imagine. No thanks.
Next.
Some people pull it off really well. Others, So this one is from Dragoon77777. Question for Amy. Who's Soren's favorite pony?
I honestly don't know. Soren doesn't communicate that way, so I'm not sure who Soren's favorite pony is. But I would hope it would be Soren, the Pegasus.
Oh, where was that question I had? Shoot, there. I'll just forget trying to find that one. There's so many I have to go through. That was a. Here we go. So this one's from Sergeant CM.
Hey, sir.
Question. There's a bunch from him actually. For you, Dusty, why that design instead of all the other rainbow art out there?
Because I basically came up with it. It's personal. So yeah, I could take somebody else's piece of art and slap it on my body and say, ooh, it's a Rainbow Dash tattoo. But I took a couple of different concepts and turned it into something that was basically between me and my tattoo artist. And it's more personal to me than just, somebody's art off the web. I think tattoos should be more personal than just, somebody going into a tattoo shop, and saying, well, I want some kanji letter on my back or my hip or whatever. So I just wanted to do something more personal. That's it.
Mm-hmm. Also from Sergeant, for all, I'm actually looking forward to this. I kind of want. Are you guys gonna come to my room party at EQLA?
Yes.
That sounds awesome. I totally will.
Tell me when and where.
Yep. We'll make sure.
Bring everyone.
I think we're only going to go to the top of the hour. With all the derps that are going on in the show, I don't want to keep Amy too long tonight. So we're only going to go for about 10 more minutes, guys, so make them good.
Okay, so this one is from Firemain. Question is, for you, Amy, did you name Soren, the pony, after your son Soren?
Yes, I did.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I got to, in that episode, The Best Night Ever, I got to name that pony, and I was sitting there trying to figure out, what am I going to name this pony, and just going through my head and seriously racking my brain. It was kind of pathetic. And trying to, there's Rainbow Dash, and what are things like Dash and flying, and I'm, coming up with synonyms and all these things. And then finally I come up with Soren or soaring, and then light bulb, and light bulb coupled with, of course, dummy. I just couldn't believe I hadn't thought of it. And then I was just filled with glee and just, oh my gosh, I get to name it after Soren. And so I put it in there, and you never know when something is going to get changed in a script. It can be put in there, and could have been, they could have asked me to change it anytime in the draft. It could have gotten changed when it got storyboarded. It could have gotten changed for legal reasons, whatever. And so I didn't know for sure whether his name was his name until the episode aired. And so that was really, really exciting when it did air. And I was like, yeah! So that was very cool.
Now I'm going to put a hold on the questions. I'm going to put a hold on the questions for a minute. Because we haven't heard Amy play her ukulele yet.
Ooh, haven't.
We haven't. I'm sure you've been working on your derpy song.
Oh, do you want to hear my derpy song?
Yeah, because we heard parts of it at Las Pegasus. I'm sure you've been working on it.
I mean, it's very short.
Uh-huh.
The derpy song's, it's only one verse.
Yep.
But here, let me pull up my derpy lyrics.
Okay. What key is it in? Is it an A?
I'm sorry?
Is it an A?
Is it an A?
Yeah, or C or A or what?
I don't know things like that. I'm guessing it's in C.
Okay.
Does that sound like C?
Yeah, I think so.
Derpy with your eyes askew. Just know I believe in you. Come on, let's go get some muffins, 'cause I love them like you do. Derpy, don't know what went wrong, but I know that you belong in the town of Ponyville, and I hope you like this song. Derpy, I love Derpy. I love Derpy. I love you.
Yay! Awesome!
Woo!
Everybody should be clapping their hands out there.
I'm clapping. I'm clapping.
I think I found the right key.
Oh, that was awesome. That was Oh my
Awesome!
goodness.
Yay! Thank you. Thank you for
Now you
playing.
need to record it and sell it everywhere.
I think Hasbro might say something about that. But anyway, we got time for one great question, dude. Pick the good one.
Ooh. You know what? I've been staring at this one for a little bit now, so I'm gonna go for this one. This one's from Haymaker. Question: what's your quote desert island book/movie and musical, or book, movie, and or musical recording? Something that keeps you that sort of that you love and that you'd want to take with you if you were suddenly stranded on a desert island. Book, movie, and musical.
Book, movie, and musical?
Or music, yeah.
Yeah.
Book, movie, and music.
Faves of those three.
The first thing that came into my head was Star Wars, the original.
There you go. Uncut.
Original.
Han shot first.
Not the one that they changed stuff and all that hoo-ha.
Hoo-ha.
Original, which I actually still have a videotape of, which is probably sadly deteriorated. But that's the first thing that popped in my head, so I'm going for it.
Awesome. Okay, and we are at the end of the show, the end of the program. So right now I'm going to read off all of the wonderful original content that you can come back and see here on Everfree Network every week. You start on Monday nights with this very program, Stay Brony, my friends, and then you go to Tuesday. Tuesday, Cutie Art Crusaders will find and discuss the wonderful art that we have in this fandom, and that is Tuesdays at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. The Brony Clubhouse also is on Tuesdays, 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern, which is sort of it's sort of a weird show. You need to go watch that because all these really great little things that they do on that show, especially Pony History, going all the way back to G1. So check out that show. Equestrian Choir, Wednesdays, 6 p.m. Pacific and 9 p.m. Eastern, which is Joe Stevens, Tech Rat, and all those wonderful people, including LTT. Come on.
Moose!
There you go, Screwy. I don't know what you were doing, but you're late.
My brother was right here.
Tell him to get out of the room. We're recording. Into the Spotlight with Osaka Jack, Wednesdays, 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern. And that is when Osaka will take the spotlight and put it on a brony who's doing really great stuff but doesn't quite get the spotlight they deserve in our fandom. And then Post My Video with Jay Haller and BVids, Thursdays, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. Followed by Brony Breakdown with Saberspark and Paleo, Thursdays at 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern, where Saberspark and Paleo talk about everything that's going on in our fandom. On the radio side, Lunar Republic Takeover. Nightmare Moon takes over this entire radio station to play your requests. And that's Fridays, 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern. Mixology with DJ One Trick, the house show with DJ One Trick, Saturdays, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. Saturday Night Songs with the Creebers. Michelle Creeber and her clan will show up Saturdays, 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern, to plug all that really great stuff, including Speedy and Stretch and anything that they got going on. Blue Screen Bronies on Sundays, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, where the Blue Screen Bronies talk about everything in the gaming world that's going on right now. And then Pegasisters Live. Pegasisters will do exactly kind of what we do here. 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern on Sundays from a Pegasisters point of view. And that is all of the original content that you can watch every week right here on Everfree Network. And with that, we're done. We're done. Thank you. I want to thank a few people. I want to thank Livestream for not derping for the last hour. Thank you, Livestream. And then I'd also like to thank EFN. I'd like to thank Screwy and Cowboy Dave and Caradwin for helping me do everything that I do here. My girlfriend Amy, EQD for giving us the props, Justin at Guru Tattoo for doing this wonderful thing on my arm over here, and you, all of you out there, for coming every week and checking out what's going on here on this program. And a very special thank you to Amy Keating Rogers for taking time out of her day to come and speak with us.
You're welcome. Thank you all.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for coming. And remember to go to manliestbrony.com to give your money to the charities so you can get into all this swag that I got hanging around here, because I'm always picking up swag for you guys. And I got to find my little, where is it? I'm finding my last little, there it is. I forgot to cue it again, because I'm that kind of guy. So many things going on in my head. But everybody's going to EQLA. We'll be there in a couple of weeks. Next week's guest. Kathy Westluck is next week's guest. Kathy Westluck will be here. Mayor Spike the Dragon will be right here for you guys to ask your questions. So don't miss it. We'll be back at our normal time, 5 o'clock, as long as Livestream feels like working. Okay? It better. We'll see you then. Ciao.
Good night, sweetheart. Well, it's time to go. Good night, sweetheart. Well, it's time to go. We hate to leave you, but we'll be back soon. Good night, sweetheart. Good night. Good night, sweetheart. Good night.